There are many stories to be told about this place. Stories about hope, chances, and opportunities. Some people look for redemption, others for help. Some instead follow their parents' footsteps to create a better future.
I grew up in a shoemaker's family. The man which you see behind me is my father. He was working, he was having a little workshop. In his workshop, I have been grown by looking what he did.
One Magen story is one of the countless stories embedded in the walls of these buildings. We are in Addis Ababa. Here the craftsmen, many women and men, who share the same goal, decided to face a challenge: to improve the quality of their lives. In a fast-growing country like Ethiopia, the GDP is rising by an average of over 10% a year.
Oggi come oggi gli etiopici ci chiedono una collaborazione, una partnership economica e io credo che questo avvantaggia sia gli etiopici che gli italiani, perché in Italia, come sappiamo, veniamo da una crisi, c'è una crisi in questo momento e le nostre imprese cercano questo mercato africano con sempre maggiore intensità. Quindi l'Etiopia, che ha un mercato di 90 milioni di abitanti, può essere veramente un volano per entrambi i paesi.
Local government always seeks support from foreign countries and international organizations. Side by side with local institutions, United Nations Industrial Development Organization has been operating in Ethiopia since 20 years.
And we are working hand in hand with development finance institutions to see how we can join forces and make such that our technical assistance services are fully aligned with much larger flows of resources for the benefit of the country.
UNIDO project in Ethiopia can be summarized by using 4 letters: I, S, I, D. Inclusive and Sustainable Industrial Development. ISID is a strategy used to develop the local manufacturing system and to connect it with the international trade network. One should always keep in mind that behind these letters there are real people. In fact, the strategy of adapting the approaches used by developed countries and organizations to meet local needs is represented by the keyword inclusive and sustainable.
The approach is coming from countries where this approach has been successfully implemented, where it refers to traditional sectors, and leather is definitely a traditional sector in many countries. And maybe the model which is the most famous and the most successful is the model of the so-called Italian district.
Everything starts with clusters. A cluster brings people together from several sectors, such as business incubators and craftsmen associations. It is an initiative where the stakeholders are involved in a broad range of activities. It's a place where people from different sectors meet and share their experiences. Exactly for this reason, UNIDO has launched a development model, Technical Assistance Project for the upgrading of the Ethiopian leather and leather product industry. Here we are at the cluster project in Yeka, northeast of the city of Addis. A meeting has been called. By looking at the number of participants, it looks more like a conference. By looking at the enthusiastic crowd, it seems a lot more like a group of friends. The members of the cluster are sharing their work experience with each other. UNIDO's team of experts is there to listen, to support them and to search for solutions.
Experts are telling what to expect, what are the shortcomings, and how we can benefit for the future if we work together. This is a kind of training which is given by the experts of the UNIDO. When we change people, we change the industry. That's this meeting is all about changing the attitude and the thinking of our members. How to be positive thinker, how to trust each other.
The secret is about assessing and identifying common needs, which go beyond the single personal challenges. For instance, the purchase of a machinery. Nobody would be able to afford it. However, if everyone decides to invest in the machinery together, they can share the resources and expenses.
They are working in isolation manner. That means they don't have any joint action plan, they don't have any joint business linkage, and they compete among themselves, and also they are mistrusting among themselves.
The leather manufacturing industry is very active in Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa, there are many small Mercato laboratories which are located in a beautiful, chaotic and crowded district. Few kilometers ahead, you can find the huge tanneries.
Last year's performance of exports from leather and leather products was $124 million, and the previous to that was $112 million, and the previous one was $104 million. This may be how shows that how the Ethiopian leather industry has been growing in terms of export level.
The Leather Industry Development Institute is the school where students learn the art and craft of leather. Highly qualified craftsmen of the future are formed and trained here.
UNIDO is part of us, both software development, that is capacity building, giving trainings for the human being, and the other is and also hardware development programs, different machineries and training materials are bought and given to this institute by UNIDO.
Everyone needs to be involved and no one gets left behind. This is the motto of inclusive and sustainable industrial development by UNIDO. And exactly for this reason, beside youngsters, particular attention is given to women.
We believe that such an experience can help supporting our project partner companies so that they empower their companies, they better produce best products targeting the export market. So in such areas we really need UNIDO's expertise support, technical support, market linkage support and so on.
The cooperation between UNIDO and local institutions is very tight. Taking as example the case of YECA, the government is supporting cluster initiatives as they know that only through clusters, development and wealth can be stimulated. Next step is to involve clusters in promoting economic growth on a larger scale.
Cluster development, which we have started with UNIDO, surely is going to be very important in the development of the leather industry in Ethiopia. We can reduce the cost of doing business, and by clustering we can also help, we can provide training, and we can create also integration.
In order to uproot poverty, people first need to change their mentality. Economic support is clearly not enough. It may help in starting the engine of a car, but if there is nobody driving it, everything else is useless. The car won't move.
But what is important is now to organize them, to let them understand that it is very important to do joint actions together. Joint action meaning, for example, supply of raw materials. Also try not to compete among themselves, and also try to channel them in a sort of agreements like subcontracting.
The Italian Cooperation Country Program made a significant contribution for Ethiopia and will invest 99 million euros in the country. However, the thrilling news is that 2/3 of the whole sum will be given as a loan. This mechanism will help to go beyond the usual donation practice.
Questa esperienza del cluster che abbiamo qua a Addis Abeba vogliamo riprodurla in altre aree, sempre per consentire lo stesso meccanismo, aggregazione e quindi rafforzamento delle loro competenze e poi quindi poter accedere a dei mercati che altrimenti li sarebbero preclusi.
The Technical Assistant Project for the upgrading of the Ethiopian leather and leather product industry has been created to build a sustainable future. These people deserve dignity. They don't use their hands to beg for help. They use them to work and to give their children a better future. Kids like those ones who are playing football without any worries, without any thoughts. These kids will be the future of a new Ethiopia.